Hi everyone, I'm Jason Bickett, principal of East Lyme Middle School. As I mentioned in last week's parent letter, ELMS is proud of our history of honoring Veterans Day. We're proud that our students are in school that day and have a chance to learn about the sacrifices our veterans have made for us. Their service allows us many freedoms: the freedom of a high-quality education, the freedom of a supportive community like East Lyme, and the freedom for our students to follow their dreams and aspirations. So join me in thanking everyone involved in this year's virtual celebration of Veterans Day, our students, our staff, and our veterans. We hope you enjoy the presentation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Veterans Day is coming up on November 11th, so I have started to think about veterans working hard to protect our country. Veterans are brave because they risk their lives to help keep us safe. Our veterans sacrifice time with their families because sometimes they must travel to faraway countries and may not see their families for a long time. I admire all these traits in our veterans and am inspired by them to be brave and help my community. The veterans' bravery inspires me to do things even when I am scared. For example, I wanted to learn how to ride a bike, but I was nervous to even sit on the bike because I was scared that I would fall. When I finally tried, I was determined, so I persevered until I could ride without getting nervous. Another example is in school, when I am nervous to speak in front of the class. In school, when you must present projects, I always get nervous, but when it's time for the presentation, I am courageous and present even though I'm scared. I'm inspired by the veterans to help my community by donating to the food drive at school. When the school announced that they were having a food drive, I was excited and immediately donated, knowing it would help the community. These are some of the traits I admire in veterans and the steps I have taken that have been inspired by the veterans.
Ever wonder why we celebrate Veterans Day? A veteran is a soldier that fought in any branch of the military and is still alive. Memorial Day honors the fallen soldiers. However, Veterans Day honors the veterans that are still alive to this day. Veterans Day is a very important day for many reasons. The veterans risk their lives for us. When soldiers go to war, they go to war and take risks because they want their beautiful community to grow up in a safer place and a safer nation. Soldiers also fight for our freedom, speech, and religion. Soldiers didn't go to war to end the war. They did it to fight for our rights. We take for granted that we can practice our religion freely. Some countries do not have the freedom. The veterans give us that freedom. Veterans Day is so important to America for so many reasons, so that is why I would like to say thank you to everyone who has served our nation. In all the loving veterans you see there is bravery, ambition, kindness, and courage. The ambition and bravery in these veterans are amazing because of their kindness in sacrificing themselves and staying away from their families in foreign countries, not even knowing if they're going to survive through these wars. It is stunning to me how veterans help and serve our country to make our world a better place for their family, friends, and even strangers. I admire these qualities and what it means to be a veteran. So when you see a veteran, say thank you.
On this Veterans Day, we recognize the powerful message that the veterans in our community send to us. We acknowledge the fearless way they serve our community. They take the bravest risks, they make the most difficult choices, and they give up their time to help their society. We can all take note of their confidence and their motivation to take up such a task. The fact that we have veterans in our community instills us with motivation that can be the driving force in our lives. We are in awe and inspired by the way they forego time with their family and friends to unflinchingly serve our community. We can emulate them by taking risks that can help make our community a better place. We can protect other people by getting vaccinated and wearing masks. We can also take care of our friends by promoting mental health, not just for them, but for ourselves as well. We can take care of the planet by properly recycling reusable materials. We can mimic their selfless, valiant spirit by advocating for equal rights for each other and standing up for what we believe in. On this Veterans Day, we remember how veterans chose to use their life to protect our country, to inspire us to make our community a better place.
Red, white, and blue. What are these colors and how do these colors represent us? A common meaning for these colors is freedom, but what lies behind those colors is a far greater thing, our veterans. It is the courage, bravery, and resilience that has gotten us far. Veterans have become role models for millions of children across the world. As for me, I have looked up to veterans almost my whole life. For example, my grandfather. He had served in the Air Force. My grandfather has the courage and bravery of a soldier, but he's also one of the nicest people I know. My grandfather has also inspired me to do many great things. He's taught me to live life to the fullest, and he takes me to explore and try new things, helping me find different ways to explore my passions over the many summers I spent with him. As my grandfather has taught me how to explore my passions throughout the years, he has also helped me become the person I am today. With his guidance, I found that I love to volunteer and help my community. He's also taught me to be a great leader and be my own person. To finish off, I just want to say thank you to our veterans and to my grandfather for helping me grow into the person I am today.
Veterans selflessly serve our country. They do it for the lands of the free. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They make sacrifices leaving their family. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They made allies so we have number one security. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They help others willingly. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They gave us the right to speak freely. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They put their lives on the lines for us to live peacefully. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They made it so that we live fearlessly. Veterans selflessly serve our country. They will forever live in our hearts endlessly.
Veterans, thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for the huge sacrifices you've made for our country, our families, and for our flag. If it weren't for you, our veterans, and not just any veterans, all of them, the veterans who have died for us, the veterans who have served for us, and the veterans who are on that battlefield right now, thank you. Going to bed at night feeling safe and not having to worry if I will wake up in the morning is truly a blessing. Thank you. This is all because of you. Veterans, thank you.
The fact that people risk their lives for our country is remarkable. I can't imagine making sacrifices every day for a career. That's something amazing that inspires me to step up and do something that motivates other people, just like veterans. Veterans are courageous because they fight for our country even when their own lives are in danger. Veterans are selfless because their job is to help other people even when that might mean they can get injured. Veterans are undaunted because they know something bad might happen to themselves, but they could put their country in front of them. Veterans are amazing because of the heroic things they do every day. I hope you don't think superheroes aren't real, because they are. Veterans are our superheroes.
God bless America, my home sweet home, land of the free. Thanks to the groups we love, cherish, and hope to please. As the rest of us turn and flee, they stay strong for our liberty, bringing help to those in need. Whether they are close or far away, they are here for us, each hour of every day, fighting for our nation and resolving confrontation. As we remember those who fought so fair, as well as those who had to be spared, we appreciate those who fight for us, who are able to come home from dawn till dusk. The qualities we strive to be, including me, are led by those who fight for free, who serve, protect, and run our nation, are through and through the home of bravery without reconsideration. I want to be just like them, selfless, honorable, and kind. But to me, a veteran in itself is very rare to find. We all try our best, never rest, to help those in need, because one day you might find yourself on your knees ready to plead. As we thank our veterans on this special day, we hope that they hear what we have to say. We honor those who serve our nation, who fought for us without reconciliation. So we hope, veterans, you understand what we say, to thank you for all you have done for us up until this very day.
Veterans can be described in many ways. They are brave, selfless, determined, and courageous. But foremost, I describe them as heroes. Heroes aren't merely abstract fictional characters plucked from TV, comic books, or big screen movies. Veterans are genuine heroes. They fill our communities as parents, grandparents, brothers, and sisters. They defend our country day in and day out, and oftentimes they put their own lives at risk to do it. They don't think twice to perform courageous acts for the benefit of others. They serve us at the expense of missing family and holidays and life events like birthdays and anniversaries. Veterans do this for us so we can enjoy this country, which we call our home, and have the opportunity to be grateful for our constitutional freedoms. Our veterans inspire me to be a better person. One way I do this is by helping out my local community by supporting town events and food drives. There are not enough words I can use to express my full gratitude for our veterans, but I can still appreciate their heroic acts.
Dear veterans, those of us who haven't served wouldn't understand the sacrifices you made during peace and war. The soldiers, young and old, fought for our freedom, courageous and bold. Some who may have unfortunately died deserve all of our pride, and even though we don't know each other and everyone's name, we all thank you the same. Your offering I appreciate, and your memory I celebrate on this Veterans Day.
Dear veterans, I have a ton of respect for you all and the people who are still serving our country. We are very lucky to have the military and our veterans that have fought for us when we were not even born or thought of, because we would not have what we have today without them, for example, freedom. I admire their hard work and dedication to our country. I also appreciate how they risk their lives for our country and how they do this without even knowing us. My dad was in the Navy and told me all about what you guys do, and it's incredible and I appreciate it. These things that you guys have done have inspired me to do things to help and serve my community. One thing that I am doing currently to help my community is Eastline Police Cadets. They do like events and things for the community just for people to have fun and help. For example, traffic control for the 95K and the Walk of Horror. We also learn about police and what they do to help the community. For example, cuffing, searching, and traffic stops. The police cadets do things for the community in all different ways. They're very helpful. Another way that they have inspired me is to join the Eastline Fire Department, because it's a way to help my community and save lives. My father has put a big impact on my life to inspire me to do this. He was a firefighter, battalion chief, and a paramedic, and now he's an APRN. He's the one that got me into it, and he brought me to the station the past couple times, and I have a lot of fun hanging out and learning. And thank you again, veterans, for all that you've done for the country.
Or what you believe in, they glance death just to protect this country. The last word that I think about when I think of a veteran is sacrifice. Veterans have given up years or even their entire lives to protect our country. Sacrificing most times comes with a cost too. Veterans have to miss family milestones, important events, and they had to miss out on life in general in which they will never get back. In most cases, when veterans come back, they have to get used to a much different world than before. So, when I think of veterans, I think of the people that honorably served to protect our country with bravery and courage. On Veterans Day, we honor and thank the ones who have sacrificed everything to our great country, the United States of America.
I admire the dedication of veterans to their communities and the country by serving in the military. I live near Stone Ranch Military Base, and I've seen how dedicated they are. I hear them practicing all hours of the night while we're resting in our comfortable beds. I've seen them carrying big backpacks up the hill while we're driving comfortably by in our luxury vehicles. And I've seen them being away from their families while we're happily spending time with our family. I've seen their dedication, and it makes me proud because I've also helped my community. I've helped build up food pantry in the Karen Share. I've sung Christmas songs to the elderly when they couldn't go out, and I've sponsored a local family for the holidays. I hope one day to give back to the community the way the veterans have given back to their country.
All right. Good morning. My name is Mr. MacGyver, and I'm a social studies teacher here at Eastline Middle School. I am honored today to have Brian Burridge here, and Brian is the veterans representative for the town of Eastline. So we're going to ask you a few questions about your role in the community and what you do to support veterans here in town.
Thank you. I am honored to be here. Thank you. As the Eastline Veterans Representative, my first responsibility is to the veterans to be the first point of contact for questions about their benefits, where to go to receive the benefits, and who to talk to. I do this by knowing and having experienced some of the shortcomings of the VA system myself. Knowing the shortcuts makes it less painful for a veteran to get the benefits he deserves. Another thing I do is visit veterans. A lot of them are in Bridebrook. They can't come to places where the veterans meet, but I can go to them. And then I visit homebound veterans and take them shopping. I do take them to the VA appointments and just be a good friend with the veterans that need somebody to talk to. I also set up the Veterans Coffee House here in Niantic. The Veterans Coffee House is one of the best ways to get veterans together talking about veterans issues, having a guest speaker talking about the latest changes in the VA care and what really affects both veteran, their spouses, and the caregivers. The coffee houses are the second Wednesday of every month. I like having a guest speaker that is very knowledgeable on what issues a veteran needs to hear. I also take time for the Library of Congress. This here, the Library of Congress Veterans History Project. Every veteran has a story. The Library of Congress captures those veteran stories because a lot of time a veteran cannot tell his family what he did, but it's easier for a veteran to tell another veteran about the stories. These are preserved for the rest of eternity for the veteran stories, and they must have right now 50,000 plus veteran stories on what they did, why they did it. I also have an interesting situation here in Niantic. This is a unique community. We have the York Correctional Facility here in Niantic, and they are training rescue dogs to be PTSD service dogs for veterans. This is unique because it satisfies requirements for a good, faithful dog, and it also serves the community and giving the lady prisoners a means of fulfillment, and also provides to our veterans that need service dogs a trained PSD service dog. I also work with a World War II veteran here in Niantic, a Iwo Jima survivor who designed Town Hall. He does watercolor painting, and we put on, just last night, we had a watercolor painting class by Harry Danos, which the proceeds go back into the VFW to support local veterans. That's one of the responsibilities that I do with as a veterans representative here in East Lyme. Now, your second question is?
Wow, you got a lot going on, Brian. That's awesome. And this is, as a history teacher, this is a really cool way to kind of record history. And
It is.
I'll be sure to share this with students here in the building.
There's so many kids. Grant, what did you do in the war? And they really don't know. But a history project, you interview that veteran and you get the story, exactly what he did and why he did it.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Question, how can families in East Lyme support the veterans?
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. You can do that with the pierogies for veterans. This is how we're paying for the training of those dogs. That the pierogies are $15 a box, $10 goes to the training of the dogs, and $5 goes to the VFW post to support other veterans in need. That's one way. Now, also, I am also the East Lyme Veterans Council Chairman. We are the ones that put on the Memorial Day parades and coming up the Veterans Day parades. The Veterans Day ceremony down at the town green. We put on the flags on the grave. There's always a need for volunteers like to help with us setting up the parades, cleaning up, and then there's also a need like with the flags, putting the flags up on the graves of veterans and then taking them down at the end of the year. Those are items. There's also momentary donations that can be helped either to the American Legion, the VFW post, the East Lyme Veterans Council. The money situation to buy for the flags, buy the grave markers, and other items come out of fund. In this past year, because of the coronavirus, there has been no fundraisers. So that could help the veterans in the local area. And then your third question is?
Sure. This one's for the kids. Why do you think it's important that students at East Lyme Middle School celebrate Veterans Day in school?
They celebrate Veterans Day in school because they have the privilege and the freedom to do so. Every veteran from the Revolutionary War took freedom to be more valuable than, in some cases, their own personal lives. And through history, it's the veterans that love the freedom that we enjoy today, guaranteed we have that freedom today to not only vote, but to speak up. If they feel that there's something wrong with the system, you have the privilege to demonstrate. You have these privileges that makes United States the greatest nation on earth for the freedom that we observe, we enjoy, and we will protect.
Very good. That's a good response. Well, Brian, we'd like to thank you on behalf of East Lyme Middle School for all that you do to support veterans in the community, and I personally like to thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you. I do ask one favor. Next time you thank a veteran for his service, take it up to the next level and ask that veteran, are you getting the benefits you've been promised?
Let's see. We have a young woman, Mary Robbins, first lieutenant in the Second World War. The only woman that we know that's a veteran that's here or that I have found anywhere. I'm trying to research here. She's way down by the gate. If you ladies go by and say hi to her. You've got veterans from all over here. You've got the Caleb Champlins along the back wall. You've got Revolutionary War. These are the people that helped make your country what it is so that you guys could be here. They're the ones that started your school system. So you have the school that'll let you come down and study this. So there's many people here, so I don't want to take up the time. I want you to be able to go around and talk and see them. So I understand that you have questions for me.
Why is Veterans Day so important for East Lyme?
For East Lyme, well, obviously we did a great deal in establishing the country. We also have many veterans. My husband was 33 years in the Navy. My son is in the Air Force. So we have many veterans in this town. Many of you I know come from military families. These are the people that not only they, in their service, their time of service, but their families have to sacrifice so much. So that's why Veterans Day is very important to East Lyme and to me.
What's the tradition of Veterans Day in East Lyme?
What's the tradition?
Veterans Day in East Lyme.
I think like the VFW and the American Legion, they all lay wreaths at the center, the memorials in the center of town. You'll also notice that there are bricks laid with names of the different soldiers. My husband has a brick, and my son. So that's celebrating for the people and to say thank you. It's very important that we say thank you to the families and to the veterans.
Why is it important that we have Veterans Day in school?
Well, there's some people that I remember when he and I were going to school, it was quite a discussion about whether to have the day off or not. But it's very important that you learn. And through the years, we have been involved where the veterans came in when they were allowed to come in and talk to the different kivas. And you would ask questions and everything, and the students learned a lot, and the veterans learned a lot, and then you all had a lunch together. So it was a nice day remembrance and celebration.
East Lyme has a proud tradition of service to our country. Members of our community have served in all branches of the military over the course of our country's history. In town, there are a number of monuments that honor the service and ultimate sacrifice of our town's bravest men and women. At the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and Main Street are a number of monuments to different conflicts and wars. There is a stone monument honoring over 100 East Lyme veterans who served in World War I. Also, there is a plaque that has the names of 10 young men from East Lyme who lost their lives during World War II. There are 2 additional plaques inscribed for veterans from Korea and Vietnam. There are 3 names on these plaques who lost their lives in these conflicts. May we always remember their dedication to duty and the ultimate sacrifice that they made. On East Patagonia Road is Union Cemetery. At the entrance to the cemetery, you will find Smith Gateway, which has a plaque commemorating volunteers from East Lyme who served in the Union Army during the Civil War. Next time you're out in town, take a moment to stop and see these lasting legacies of East Lyme's personal service to our nation.
Last week, 8th grade students walked to the Old Stone Church Burial Ground on Society Road to learn from a local historian, Jean Medley. Miss Medley taught the students about many of the local veterans who are buried there. In this historic burial ground are veterans from the French and Indian War, the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, and both World Wars, with Korea and Vietnam Wars. Students laid wreaths and floral arrangements at many of the graves. It is amazing how there are over 3 centuries of military tradition in this one common space. We would like to thank Miss Medley for all she does to preserve and teach local history to East Lyme students.